Have you ever felt totally overwhelmed trying to navigate clunky government websites or decipher confusing legal forms? Well, you're definitely not alone. Welcome to this explainer where we're going to demystify exactly how to secure your official Massachusetts divorce records, completely minus the bureaucratic headache. Let's jump right in. So just picture this for a second. You're standing in line at the RMV, totally ready to get your real ID, and boom, you get turned away just because you don't have a certified divorce degree. Or maybe you're applying for a passport, updating your social security, or trying to transfer a property title, and suddenly you hit a massive brick wall. Let's make absolutely sure that never happens to you. Having this specific document on hand is totally critical for so many important life milestones. So today, we'll make sure you know exactly how to get it. Okay, here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, understanding your divorce decree. 2, finding the right court. 3, steps to request copies. 4, online retrieval options. 5, in-person and mail methods. And 6, helpful tips and resources. Starting off with Section 1, understanding your divorce decree. First things first, we really have to decode some Massachusetts legal terminology so you don't accidentally order the wrong piece of paper. There is a very strict difference between a necessity and an absolute. The necessity is really just a temporary judgment. It's not final. But for pretty much all practical official requests like getting remarried or applying for a passport, you're going to need the final permanent document, and that is the court-certified certificate of divorce absolute. Now, keep this number locked in your head, 90. A divorce judgment in Massachusetts becomes absolute only after a 90-day waiting period expires. Unless the court specifically orders otherwise, you literally have to wait out these 90 days from the necessity judgment for your divorce to be legally final. Only after that clock runs out can you actually get your hands on that all-important certificate of divorce absolute. Moving right along to Section 2, finding the right court. You know, figuring out what document you need is really only half the battle. Knowing exactly where to look is the other half. And the single biggest misconception out there is assuming the state holds your record. Actually, scratch that. They absolutely do not. Unlike birth or death certificates, your divorce record is held strictly by the specific county court where your divorce was actually finalized. So, how do you pinpoint the exact location? Well, just think back to where you last lived together as a married couple. If it was Boston, you're going to be looking at the Suffolk Probate and Family Court. If it was Cambridge, you're looking at Middlesex. But hey, if you're feeling unsure about the exact county, don't sweat it. Any court clerk can do an internal name search for you, as long as you provide the case type, both of your names, and the city or town where the original complaint was filed. All right, Section 3, steps to request copies. Let's get into the action plan. Once you've tracked down your specific court, making the actual request really just comes down to 4 pretty straightforward steps. 1, find your court. 2, get your docket number, which is essentially just your unique case ID. 3, fill out the official uniform request document, which is called Form PFC 18. And 4, submit that form along with your exact payment. Okay, please pay super close attention here, because you absolutely must follow these strict payment rules. If you send a personal check, they will literally return your entire request package unprocessed. No joke. The courts only accept an attorney's check, a money order, a bank-certified check, or a cashier's check. Oh, and make sure it's payable to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Trust me, getting this right on the first try is going to save you weeks of frustrating delays. To put the costs into perspective, getting a certified copy of the absolute decree directly from the court is $20. That gets you the official raised court seal and the clerk's signature. And standard processing takes about 10 to 14 business days. But if you're really in a pinch and need it yesterday, there are professional third-party rush services that can expedite the whole thing to 5 to 7 days for around $150. Let's move to Section 4, online retrieval options. So let's see how we can leverage the internet to make this a bit smoother. Now, while you can't typically just download a certified decree directly online, mostly because they need to stamp it with that physical raised seal, you can absolutely hop on to masscourts.org to search for your docket number. Even cooler, the virtual registry is a secure remote video option where you can actually speak face-to-face with a real clerk to get that info. And yeah, those third-party retrieval services we mentioned do let you order online with a credit card if you just want to skip the courthouse trip entirely. Next up, Section 5, in-person and mail methods. Now, if you prefer the good old DIY route, handling it directly via mail or in person is perfectly viable. Just remember, making sure you have your docket number and that exact correct payment method is what guarantees a smooth turnaround. Going in person, make sure you bring your ID and have your Form PFC-18 ready to go. Mailing it in, just double, maybe even triple check that your money order or certified check is actually tucked inside the envelope before you send it off. And finally, Section 6, helpful tips and resources. Let's wrap up by addressing a few edge cases, like what to do if you're facing some financial hurdles. If you honestly can't afford that $20 fee, the court system actually has a built-in safety net for you. You can file what's called an affidavit of indigency. This allows you to formally ask the court to just waive your costs completely, because honestly, financial hardship should never, ever prevent you from accessing your own vital records. The court evaluates your eligibility based on 3 main categories. If you receive benefits like mass health, that's Category A, or your household income is under 125% of the federal poverty guidelines, Category B, you generally qualify right out of the gate. There's also a Category C, for when paying the fee would literally deprive you of basic needs like food or shelter. Just keep in mind that Category C does require a supplemental form detailing your expenses for a judge to review. Okay, what if you're planning on remarrying abroad? Or you need the decree for some kind of international use. In that case, you have to complete a strict 2-step apostille process. First, you get that original certified absolute decree with the raised seal from the probate court. Then, step 2, you submit it to the Secretary of the Commonwealth over in Boston along with a $6 fee. That officially authenticates the judge's signature so foreign governments will recognize it. Ultimately, taking a little bit of time now to secure and safely store your final divorce decree is truly an act of future-proofing your life. It ensures absolutely no administrative hurdle stands in the way of whatever your next chapter holds. Just a quick reminder, this explainer is strictly for informational purposes and doesn't replace professional legal advice. But it really does make you wonder, doesn't it? How many other vital pieces of our own personal history are just locked away in a courthouse somewhere, waiting until the exact moment we desperately need them? Food for thought. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.